So how do we move from procurement
to real estate? For example, if you want to get land that you can immediately develop, there's some factors that you need to consider. Or maybe an industry. So if you see uko katikati ya industry and a residential home, then the zoning bit wasn't taken seriously.
So how can one identify land with potential for future appreciation in value?
People should not think like maybe from the age of 25 is when you're liable, or rather viable of buying property. No problem. Actually, there's a point that I had mentioned before. That age should not limit you from purchasing your first property. I remember I did my first purchase when I was 22.
22?
I bought my first purchase. Like my first land, the first land that I purchased.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mjengo podcast, where we talk about everything construction. Now, I'm your host, Miss Kahiro. Now today, I've not been joined by my co-host, Hari. He's not feeling well. Tunafaa tumuombe sana so that he comes back in the next episodes. And also, we are sorry for the hiatus we took, Some technical issues kidogo, but we are back. And in fact, today, we are joined by a gorgeous lady, in real estate. Leo tunaongelea lands, okay? So she was named one of the most, wait. She was named one of the top 5 women CEO in real estate in 2024 by the Dependable Brands Awards, okay? She's also the CEO and managing director of her own company called Fahari Concepts Limited, which was also awarded as the most affordable land selling company in the coastal region. Girl power is with us in the room. Also, she's received some other very elite awards back in 2022 as the best salesperson. Come on now, Leo tuko na a very elite person in the room. Lands on lands. We are talking about lands, okay? Well, let her introduce herself.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, dear.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure being here today.
Yes.
And I'm happy to finally meet you.
Finally.
All right, guys. So as she has mentioned, my name is Judy Moraa. I am the managing director of Fahari Concepts Limited. It's a real estate company that specializes in selling land in the coastal region.
Okay,
yes.
Coastal region.
Yeah.
Me mwanzo, you're the first person I've had, and now is a coastal region.
Yeah.
Very unique. We'll talk about why the coastal region and not anywhere else. Haya, sawa. So now, before we dive into it, nikikuchunguza pale kwenye mtandao, I saw you graduated in 2017 from JKUAT.
Yes.
Ulikuwa unafanya procurement.
Yes.
So how do we move from procurement
to real estate? Yeah, it's a beautiful journey, I can say. I remember having met a friend of mine who was in the real estate industry. That time I was in 4th year, I remember. And he talked me into trying something different as I was still studying. And he introduced me into the real estate industry. And I remember him taking me around, like making me open a company.
Yeah.
And then...
No, 4th year.
Yeah,
you had a company.
I had a company when I was in 4th year, 3rd semester.
4th year.
Yeah. So I remember opening the company, and he was able to take us around like different developments in Nairobi. I remember us going to the areas of Area Center, approaching Chinese developers, asking them if we can market for them their products.
And you have no idea about real estate?
I had no idea, but he was guiding us.
Wow. So you were a group of people?
Yeah, we were 3 ladies, I remember. We were going around different developments or rather projects that were done by different developers. And we would approach them and ask them if we can help them market their products. And we used to take photos, use the marketing platforms that were working at that time. We used to have Facebook and GG, which are still working right now. And we will put the products out there and people will be interested.
Right.
Yeah, so I remember the first client that I got was from the UN. And luckily, I was able to take him to the site and he got interested in the project. And then the commission that I got from there made me realize that I'm in the best
real
field
estate
right now.
It is.
Yeah.
So procurement out of the window.
Procurement out of the
like,
window.
There's nothing in procurement that you're using.
Nothing.
Like
Nothing.
So school fees?
I just say, I usually say going to school,
Yeah.
to the university, it's just to give you a certain skill
Yeah.
that can make you either street smart or
Yeah.
maybe know how to tackle
Right.
life in
Okay.
a way or two. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in procurement, I'm still doing it in a way. Like, for example, helping clients procure materials to
Yes.
develop the land that, develop the land that they've purchased. Someone can tell you to supply them with interior design materials. So
Right.
it's still
Somehow.
incorporated. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about land. Yeah. How do you determine the best location to get land, either ya kuishi ama for property developments? And why have you focused on the coastal region?
Okay. For example, if you want to get land that you can immediately develop, there's some factors that you need to consider. One, the amenities around that place. For example, if you're looking to develop a home that you want to immediately live in once it's complete, you'd look if there's availability of hospitals, supermarkets, or maybe schools. Such amenities are very key, like key factors to consider. And then the other thing that you need to consider is the distance, for example, from where you work.
Right.
Because you see, you can be working in Nairobi CBD and the land that you're looking to purchase is in maybe Kajiado.
Yeah.
That's a very huge distance for you to be coming each and every morning
But there are
to your
people
work.
who are living in Kajiado and going to Nairobi CBD.
But that's a distance. Have you been to Kajiado, like on road, like right now you decide you're going to Kajiado? Do you know how long you're going to
Kajiado,
take?
does Rongai count as Kajiado?
Okay. To be specific, let me say Kajiado town.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Rongai is a very nice place.
Yes.
Its proximity to town is very nice. Like
Very
you
nice.
wouldn't struggle
Very,
to
very
come all
nice.
the way. You wouldn't struggle all the way to come to
Yeah.
the CBD. Yeah, so you look at, as I'll go back to that, the distance from where you're working, the amenities I've already mentioned.
Right.
And also the type of development that are happening around the place that you want to purchase the land.
Yeah.
You can be interested in a land whereby if you look around, the only things built there are industries.
Right.
And you can't develop a residential home whereby there are very many industries around that place. It will affect.
But why? Why are industries coming to build or to put in their factories kwa residential areas? Because I have, sijui nijianike hapa, but at home where I live, there's a whole painting factory.
Oh yeah. Does it affect?
Of course, eventually it will because of the smoke and stuff.
Yeah.
So how legal is that?
It's actually not legal. That's why we have the zoning aspect, whereby it helps you realize which place is viable for you to set up a residential home or a commercial setup or maybe an industry. So if you see uko katikati ya industry and a residential home, then the zoning bit wasn't taken seriously.
So what's the solution now?
The solution is to bring in someone that can help you identify the right property to purchase. And that's how we agents, or rather real estate companies, come in.
Okay.
For me, if I'm selling for you any property, I'll have to make sure that I've taken into consideration such things.
Yes.
I don't want to sell to you a property whereby later on you'll be affected with the smoke that is being emitted from the companies. Or maybe I sell for you a property that maybe utapata there are very many commercial buildings that are coming around your home area. So those are the things that you need to consider, like bringing in someone who can guide you in purchasing the right property that you're looking to purchase.
And that's why we need to go to Fahari Concepts
Yeah, that's why you
Limited.
need to come to Fahari Concepts
Thank you.
Limited. Yes.
Okay. Hi, still on land because we are talking about land leo yote. So how can one identify land with potential for future appreciation in value?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, for example, let's look at a place like Kitengela.
Yes.
Kitengela, the amount of people that are moving towards that side tells you that the demand is really rising.
Right.
If I'm going to purchase land in Kitengela right now, I know in 5 years' time, if I'm buying for speculation, it would have already added value.
Yes.
If I bought it, for example, at 2 million, in 5 years' time, I can be selling it at 3.5 million.
Okay.
Which is actually very interesting because you see, if I go and, for example, purchase land right now in Narok,
Yes.
deep inside
Yes.
Narok, for example, with 100,000.
Yeah.
For that place to develop, or rather for you to see a huge population going towards that side, it will take years and years.
A long time, yeah.
Yeah. So you look at the type of population, rather the amount of people that are moving towards that area, or maybe the demand of that area, that will tell you how soon that property will have added value.
So you'd rather just pour a lot of money now kwa place kama Kitengela, knowing that in a few years it'll double almost, instead of kununua at a cheaper price, but then it takes too long to appreciate.
Exactly.
Okay. We are learning.
Yes.
We are learning. Okay. So haya, we are buying land now. Watu wamegonga huku nje. So what are the common mistakes people are making, especially in Kenya, while trying to purchase land?
Okay. If you're new in any purchase, for example, hata kama ni nyumba or maybe land, there are some things that you might not know, like starting the process of purchasing land or a house, you might not know where to start from. That is why we have us again.
Yes.
Fahari Concepts.
Fahari Concepts
Fahari
Limited.
Concepts Limited. You approach us and tell us that you are interested in purchasing land.
Right.
We will take you through the journey from the start. First of all, we'll ask you, the property that you're planning to buy, are you planning to develop it immediately?
Right.
Are you planning to speculate with it? Are you planning to maybe just have it for commercial use or whatever? Once we understand your need, we give you the options that you have on board.
Okay.
For example, the ones that we have in Diani, we can give you the option of the Diani project that we have. If you show interest in that project, we have documentations. For each and every property that you purchase, there are usually documentations that helps you know how legit that property is.
Okay.
So once we give you the documentation, we can either ask if you have your own lawyer, or maybe we can use our own lawyer, or maybe there's a way you can just decide, let me just trust you guys and go ahead with the process. So if you are able to come up with your own lawyer, or rather bring in your own lawyer, we can hand them in the documentation. Now for us, before we ask you whether you want to bring in your lawyer, we'll tell you the importance of doing due diligence.
Okay.
To know whether the property is legit.
Yes.
Yes, you can be selling to you a property, but then you don't in 5 years' time, you're like, I didn't do the due diligence at first, I need to do it right now. So we need to make sure that you have done the due diligence. And for you to do the due diligence, you involve your lawyer if you have one, or you use our own in-house lawyer, or maybe just decide to trust us, we proceed with the process. So once we do the due diligence for you, or maybe the lawyer does the due diligence for you, they will confirm whether the property is legit.
Okay.
And the property has to come under the name Fahari Concepts Limited.
Yes.
That shows that the property belongs to us before we finally transfer it now to your name.
So if I am using your lawyer, that's more money I have to incur for that?
There's usually legal cost in every purchase.
Okay.
Like if you use your own lawyer, you still have to pay them.
Yes, at the end of the day.
Yeah, if you use my lawyer, you still have to pay him.
Okay.
If you decide to trust us, you go through the process.
Without the due diligence part?
No. We will also do the due diligence for you, because we also know how to go ahead and do the search, conduct the search of the property. And then now we bring you the results that show that the property is now under the company, or the property is under Fahari Concepts Limited.
Okay.
Yeah.
On to a lighter question, yeah? Is there a myth that you would like to bust, about buying land in Kenya?
Yeah. Okay. Anyone that is above the age of 18 years old is able to purchase land. People should not think like maybe from the age of 25 is when you're liable, or rather viable of buying property.
Yeah.
If you are from the age of 18, you're able to purchase property in any location that you're interested in,
Right.
or rather any property that you're interested in.
Okay.
So people should not let their age
Determine whether or not
they're
they should.
able to purchase property or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All you need is money, right?
All you need is money. Yeah.
Okay. Kwanza sa especially in my industry as a creative, many young people are getting quite some good kapesa from endorsements
You guys
and
are doing
stuff,
well.
So you're 18 to 24. Watu wako na tupesa huku nje.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't wait to the age of 25. That is when you say, like, now I'm able to purchase property.
Yes.
Now I'm able to gather all the money that I have accumulated since I was 18. No, the best time to start is now.
Okay.
At least when you're age 30, you have several properties that you have purchased. And by then, they would have already added value. And then you sell them at a profit.
You know what? Ninachanga hiyo pesa ya endorsements. Tunanunua land next year.
Very important.
Na naenda Fahari
Concepts Limited.
Thank you. So, for someone who has, umeona lands nyingi, umeuza nyingi, what's that one land that makes you tick? Wewe kama Judy, if someone were to gift you land, now you were to pick points, ungesema nunue wapi?
Oh, wow. Definitely Diani.
Okay.
I love Diani.
Why?
I think people should make a point of visiting Diani properly. I believe most people, when they're traveling to Diani, they only get to see the resort area or rather the hotel area. But if you get time to move around Diani, get to explore the beauty of Diani, you'll come to realize it's a very fertile place. It's green. Like, you can't compare Diani to Mombasa. It's so green. And the environment there is different from the other coastal region. It's not as humid as Kina Mombasa, Malindi.
Okay.
So the environment there is very nice, conducive. And then the type of houses that are built around that place will tell you how classic Diani is.
Okay. Fertile. What are people planting there?
Actually, fruits.
Fruits?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why I'm telling people, I'm actually telling people, once you get to Diani, make a point of traveling around.
Okay.
Or rather touring the place.
Okay.
There are different types of farming that is happening. Not in this beach side, definitely, because of the soil and all.
Yes.
If you go deep, or not so deep, you will see what people are doing.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot that is happening in Diani.
And how is the industrialization there? If I wanna jenga there, I want to live there.
Oh, okay.
Is it a good place to live in? Niko na supermarkets hapo nje ama?
Yes, it's actually a very developed town.
Okay.
We have different amenities there.
Yeah.
We have supermarkets, we have hotels, the 5-star hotels, we have hospitals, we have banks.
Okay. So if I want to, juu umesema, it's half-half. Like there's this part yenye iko karibu na the mchanga ya the ocean, so I can't farm there.
No, you can't.
If I want to farm somewhere where pia najenga, so nitahave kuingia ndani.
Okay, not so ndani. Let's say 2.5 kilometers.
2.5 is good.
Yeah, 2.5 kilometers from the beach area, you can access a very nice land.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I can walk 2.5 kilometers.
Yeah, it's actually not so far from the beach side.
Okay. Tunaenda Diani, we'll consider
Karibuni.
that. Asante. So do you take people for tours to see?
Yes, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can either personally take you, or we have a team that is always in Diani from Monday to Sunday.
Okay.
They conduct site visits each and every day. And whatever time you're available, they can even come and pick you from the hotel that you're staying in. So site visits are done every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very elite. Very, very elite.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, back to the kidogo hard questions. How does the inheritance law impact land ownership in Kenya? We've seen very many cases, very sad cases of families just wrangles in that land.
Yeah.
First of all, is there an inheritance law in Kenya? And what's that about?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll use an example. For example, we have a father who has kids, and he has land in Diani, 50 acres.
Yeah.
Sorry, piece of land.
Okay.
If it happens, years go by, and for example, he leaves the properties. with the kids. Maybe something happens, and then he leaves he hands over the properties.
Yeah.
I'll start over. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Mama.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, I'll use a certain example. For example, there's a father who has kids and he has property in Diani, let's say 50 acres. If it happens that he passes away and he had left the land for the kids, maybe he had given, maybe amepatia each and every kid, maybe 10 acres, 10 acres, 10 acres. And it happens that the 4 kids, let's say there are 5, the 4 kids decide to sell the whole parcel of land. Not all of them will agree to sell it off.
Right.
Kuna mmoja anaweza sema maybe hapana, I do not agree, I don't want that. My dad had not said that we need to sell that property right now. So such wrangles are the ones that cause people who are interested in buying large chunks of land not to go ahead and purchase that. Because you might find that like the four siblings might come together and agree that and say like you can purchase the land. Maybe later on in 5 years' time, one of them comes and says that no, I was not in that meeting. I wasn't among the 4 people who agreed for me to sell the property, for us to sell the property. So such cases happen. And for the inheritance law, it states that an agreement has to be made by the family or maybe by the people who are left for the land.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
If
all of them.
If the agreement was not done by all of them, then you cannot purchase that land like wholly, knowing that you might not know that the agreement was supposed to be made between the 5 kids. They came ahead and told you were the only ones who have decided to sell the property, not knowing that there was someone else who was supposed to be in the decision-making process. So such thing can affect any person that is interested in purchasing land.
So have you had such cases?
Yeah, it has happened. You find that, let's say a real estate developer goes and purchases land, let's say in maybe Nakuru, maybe it's a 2-acre piece of land. And the person who had come to sell the property to the developer came with this notion that the property is mine. I'm the only person that is supposed to make a decision. No one else needs to be in this decision making for you to purchase. Then you go ahead, maybe you go and develop maybe homes in that land. After like 2 years, kesi inakam, maybe unapata mtu mwingine ako like, hey, I was away. I didn't know that this land was sold. And I was supposed to be one of the people that could have made the decision for this land to go the process of the land purchase process to go ahead. Yeah, so such cases do happen.
So now what do we do? Already nimejenga. Sasa tufanye tubomoe.
What usually happens, you find that this other party takes that case to the court.
Okay.
And if it goes to the court, if maybe an agreement is not had between the 2 parties, because you might find the party that was not in the process of purchasing the land, anaweza sema then that amount of money that he asked you was not the amount of money that we could have agreed.
Wow.
Kama mli agree mununue na 10 million, yako like no me I want 20 million. So maybe you just pay him the extra 10 million or maybe just let your lawyers handle for you the case.
But then lawyers, Casey, you might end up using so much money with the case.
It happens that the developers that already purchased the land, it happens that they win the case because it's something that it's a very contradicting story. Yeah, but such cases really affect people.
And that's why people need to do due diligence.
Exactly. Yes.
With proper agents.
Exactly.
Like Fahari Concepts Limited. Hey, I've sold for you.
Kabisa. Thank you.
Okay. So let's talk about zoning kidogo. So how does, first of all, what is zoning? And how does zoning affect land use? And what should potential buyers know? Or just be kidogo aware about zoning.
Okay.
Yeah. Before they purchase.
All right. Zoning is the process whereby you get to, for example, the county can decide areas like Westlands is only for commercial use.
Okay.
Areas like Syokimau is only for residential use. Areas like how is it called? South B is only for industrial use. Okay. Zoning is allocating different types of lands on, or maybe specifying the use of any land that anyone purchases.
Right.
And the importance of zoning to anybody that is interested in purchasing land, it guides you on where you need to purchase the land.
And for what purpose?
If I'm looking forward to set up an industry, I can't come and set up an industry here in Westlands.
Right.
I can't just come and set up an industry here. I need to know the land that is here available for sale. What is its use?
Okay.
Is it for commercial use? Is it for industrial use? Is it for residential use? You see, the same way I can't do a commercial building in a residential area.
So is this where do I get this information from as a buyer?
The county guides on the type of uses of every property that is available for sale. And also for us as Fahari Concepts, you're able to guide you on the type of land that you're supposed to buy after knowing your needs. After asking you, like, what do you want to develop on the land? Do you want to develop a home?
Yes.
Do you want to develop an industry? Do you want to put up shops? Those are the things that you need to look into before now guiding the client on where to purchase the property.
That's very informative. That's actually very informative.
Yeah.
Okay, a light question. What's the most fulfilling experience you've had while selling land to someone?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The most fulfilling experiences when seeing a client buy property. For example, I've understood their needs. I've known, like, if they want to develop an apartment, if they want to develop a home, or if they want to just set up something that can bring in returns for them. There's one experience that I had that I helped a client purchase land in Syokimau, and they were able to set up a 5-bedroom maisonette.
Wow.
It's the most beautiful house in that area. And I remember going for the house opening, and it just made me feel proud of what I'm doing, because every time that client always calls to say, thank you so much. This is the best thing that ever happened to me. And the place is a very beautiful place. It's a controlled area. It's a gated community. And there are no wrangles like maybe makelele or whatever and all. Yeah, so it's actually very fulfilling to see a client appreciate the job that you did for them.
Wow.
And maybe the help that you brought to them. Yeah.
I want to ask a personal question. Okay. So you've seen that fulfillment or you've seen the happiness of this client. Have you experienced that for yourself? Have you bought yourself land?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Have you built your own house?
In the process.
We're in the process?
Yes.
Utatuita housewarming, house cutting, hapo kwenye the Caribbean, so that we can see that.
No problem. Actually, there's a point that I had mentioned before.
Yes.
That age should not limit you from purchasing your first property. I remember I did my first purchase when I was 22.
22?
I bought my first purchase. Like my first land, the first land that I purchased. It's along Kangundu Road. That was the first property that I bought.
When Kangundu Road? Because uko ndio home.
Mala,
mi niko Kamulu, so ni hapo.
Kamulu, okay. I bought my first property in Mala. And it's one property that I said, hata nikinunua zingine, hiyo sitawahi uza. Because I bought it with the money. It's my baby.
Yeah.
I remember I had sold a certain apartment in Kilimani, and that commission made me like feel like I need to put this into something, like I need to invest something. At least ndio nijue. I feel like the money that I used to make at my early age did something for me. Yeah.
Wow. So itakaa tu hapo.
Itakaa or maybe hata nezeka ng'ombe hapo.
Ng'ombe basi. Ng'ombe Mala. Is that sustainable?
See, people are doing farming there.
Sawa. Again, I'm learning, guys. So, swali nyeti hapa. Can foreigners really legally own land in Kenya? Because there's a case we saw, some county government official somewhere was in a tussle with some foreigners about land. I don't know how that went, but is it legal? Ama, are they forced or obligated to cut their land to benefit the local wananchis? Because that was what they were saying. Yeah.
First of all, they can legally own land in Kenya.
Okay.
I'll use an example. The foreigners that have purchased land from us, what usually happens, we guide them to open companies. Like, for example, open a company that is now that shows that it's a company owned
by you in Kenya.
By the foreigner in Kenya.
Okay.
Now they can use that company to purchase land or any property that they're interested in.
And it can be any company in any industry.
Yeah, as long as it's a company opened in Kenya.
Okay.
Now it shows that you're purchasing the property via the company that belongs to Kenya.
In Kenya. Okay.
And there's that story that you've said about a certain guy taking advantage of foreigners. It wasn't a very interesting story because you see what usually happens in such cases, you find that the Kenyans who are taking advantage of these foreigners see that these people do not have authority or maybe much power to defend the properties that they have. So it happens that, for example, if a foreigner is coming up with a certain development, and they will definitely go to the county to get approvals or maybe to get just giving them a go-ahead to go ahead with the development of that project that they're planning to do. So it happens that these county people try to kuwanyanyasa, corruptions and all. So it also inhibits many foreigners who might come and help maybe development within our areas. It will inhibit them to go ahead with any purchase of land because they will be hearing from these other foreigners what they had to go through, the parties or approvals and all. So I think such situations should be cut short, or maybe counties need to know how to bring in or rather entice these foreigners to come in.
Because right now they are pushing them away.
Exactly,
with the
they're
whole
literally pushing them away. I actually saw the case whereby one of the foreigners came and spoke openly.
Alimuandika vibaya sana. It was not cute.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh yes, so foreigners can legally own land. Yeah, they just need to follow some procedures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Aya, tukimalizia. Let me see. Okay, let's just finish this. So your advice to someone, especially a lady, kwanza, before Atani conclude, do you feel like as a lady in the industry, you have PTA'd some unique, maybe, let me repeat that. Challenges, yeah. As we are almost concluding, do you feel like as a lady in the industry, umepitia some unique challenges because of the fact that you're a lady, or has being a lady actually helped you in, say, making sales?
Oh, yeah? I will start with the advantage.
Okay.
The advantage is that there's this notion that it's easy for ladies to close businesses or rather make sales more than gents. And it happens that way in a way that, for example, it's easy for a lady to convince a guy and tell them, by the way, if you're able to purchase this property, I will guide you through the process. If you need any verification, any due diligence, any management, I'm here for you. I will help you. Anything you need, I will guide you. But for a guy will go like, unabai ama ubai.
Yeah.
Unanipatia check ama paycheck. Yeah, so those are the advantages that ladies go through. And it's something that I've come to appreciate because we use our girl power. In this way, we have the caring aspect, like the caring, how do you call it?
I don't know. What can you call it? Kuna tu something in our DNA as women.
Exactly. And yet too, you can just talk to someone and they're lured into doing something that you want them to do. Yeah. So the disadvantages I can say is that we are in an industry whereby it's male dominated.
Yes.
Most companies being run right now are run by male, or rather men.
Yes.
Who, when they see a lady running a company, they'll have questions like, how is this lady able to run this? Is she capable of making sure that maybe ameenda kaongea na surveyor, ameongea na valuer, ameongea na nani, making sure that documentations are okay? Is she able to handle the clients the right way? If she's threatened by anybody, is she able to handle that threat? Or maybe how is she able to tackle any challenges?
And is the answer yes?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
If you're able to, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
All these things of believing like ladies are not capable of doing what men are able to do, it's just in the mind. The same way, if I decide to, for example, purchase a Range Rover right now,
yes.
I just need to know what it takes for me to gather all that money, ndo nikwe able to purchase that Range Rover that I'm looking for.
Yes.
I will need to work. The same way a man can work, I can also work. The same way a man can try to look for a deal, for example, that can make me purchase what I want. I'm able to do it. If it's going to school, we've all gone to school.
Yes.
The skills we've all learned the same. And we're all gifted differently. Like wisdom-wise, knowledge-wise, street-wise, smart-wise, that street smart-wise. So what a man can do, I can say a woman can do it better.
There you go. And then these days they add that you should move with the audacity of a white man.
Exactly.
There you go. As we conclude, some advice to people out there who are trying to get into the real estate industry. Someone, Mwanzo, again, back to the fact that you studied procurement, but here you are in real estate. So talk to that someone. Yeah.
What I can say is that real estate is a very interesting industry, lucrative industry. I have witnessed and seen growth when I'm in this industry. It's actually my 7th year in the industry right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so I would encourage anybody that is interested to get into real estate. This is the best time to actually take advantage of the situation. Because right now, people have started embracing the aspect of owning their own.
Yes.
Or rather, having your own apartment. Paying rent at times can be too cumbersome.
Yes.
But if you're able to purchase anything, hata kama ni shamba, nyumba, and right now we have the affordable housing concept whereby you're able to purchase a home with as low as 2 million apartments. There are very many projects being done around. So I would advise them to take the bold step out there, even if it takes, like, for example, you can, if you want to help developers market their projects, you can help developers market their projects. You'll be able to gather some money. Commission in real estate is good. Gather some money, purchase land, pole pole, the money that you earn from the commission, unaekelea foundation, unaekelea walling, unaekelea finishing, and finally you can have your own
home.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting industry, and you come to appreciate all these developments that are around. If I look at the building, for example, any tall building around, I would want to imagine how far they went deep inside. So it makes you appreciate what is happening, the development that is happening around our country. Yeah, so it's a very interesting industry.
There you have it, guys. May I've enjoyed this conversation. I've learned so much. As a girl, I am empowered to do better in life.
I know, right?
Yes, thank you so much, Judy,
You're
for
welcome.
gracing our space.
You're welcome.
And we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.